Mula sa kabisera ng Inglaterra, sa puso ng Britanya, London, UK. London, UK. Ito ang Channel Philippines Network, Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK. Sumasahing papawid, 24 oras. 24 oras. Buong linggo. Sa www.pinoyradiouk.com. Ang mga pinakapaborito mga awitin, mga pinakaabangang programa, at mga sariwang balita at impormasyon mula at para sa mga kababayang Pilipino sa UK at sa buong mundo. Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK.
Wow, magandang gabi mga kababayan. I was a bit surprised as well kasi hindi ako sanay na akong unang makikita nyo after that intro. Unfortunately, mag-isa lang po ako ngayon. Masama po ang pakiramdam ng ating Mr. SONNY LARAGAN. May feels better soon, Mr. LARAGAN. You're in our thoughts and prayers. Hopefully, makakasama niyo na tayo in the next episode or on Thursday. So it's just me tonight. Hopefully, I'll be able to give you some dagdag kaalaman pa rin. Ayaw kasi nating namimiss namin kayo kapag hindi kami nakakapag-broadcast every week. So we'll try to crack on. Just us today with Direct Paula is still in the background helping out with technical stuff. So before tayo mag-proceed, gusto ko lang i-happy birthday si Direct Paula. Advance happy birthday kasi 2 days pa po. So on the 22nd of September, sabay-sabay po nating i-greet si Direct Paula. I-flood nyo ang message niya o ang kanyang wall ng happy birthday. That's also the reason why I don't want to miss today because I don't want to miss the start of the birthday celebration ng aming kapita-pitagang direct cum laude medalist and very, very inspiring Paula Patricia Roque Perez. So, yes, welcome back tuloy po kayo sa ating mga social remote bubble. We are coming back from a bank holiday dahil state funeral ng ating Queen Elizabeth II. So we came back from a day of reflection. Buong araw lang din ako nanood. So sa mga comment section dyan, give us your feedback. Nasan kayo? Pumunta ba kayo ng London? Pumunta ba kayo ng Windsor? Or may mga narinig ako na nandun sila sa daanan. From London to Windsor, so may mga areas na dinaanan doon. Let us know how is it for you. If you were watching online just like myself while I was watching sa television, still it was very somber, it was very reflective. As a British Filipino myself, napaka-historic na moment. So we're all coming back to a different world, different na reign, different, although last week pa. This is the first day na wala na talaga, wala na siya sa atin, kumbaga. So share your thoughts, share your feedback. Nasa ang dami mga kababayan na nag-queue, the great British queue. Luminya, 13 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. Sa dami kong narinig na mga stories na feedback. So do share kung kayo ay kasama dun sa historic moment na yon. Today, we're gonna go siguro mas straight kasi wala akong kausap eh. Ako naman dito. So, we'll go straight to the point today. We're gonna discuss a topic. Nandito pa rin tayo sa childhood proceeding series. Last week, we gave you the frequently asked questions in children proceeding. Ngayon naman, sasabihin ko kung ano yung procedure. Ano ba yung pagdadaanan mo kung kailangan mo ng child arrangement orders. And segue yan sa topic natin next week, which is, we touched upon last week, paano yung mga may issue ng domestic violence? How does the court deal with that? Pero for today, focus muna tayo sa procedure para malaman. Kasi nagugulat yung mga kliyente ko. First hearing, sabi na, oh, ito na, tapos na ba to? Ito na ba? Yan na ba ang main na hearing? Malalaman na ba natin ang resulta dun sa first hearing? Spoiler alert. Wag nating i-spoil ko muna. Let's hear the answer after the break. So, tune in. Commercial po muna tayo. We'll do the greetings later. But we'll crack on first with the episode, with the session after our commercial break.
Mula doon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
100% all natural, tasty, healthy, versatile, 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galetos.
May problema ka ba sa landlord mo? Baka AV ka na ni Kuya. May problema sa mga kapitbahay, sa trabaho. O kaya naman kay Mister o kay Mrs. Away tungkol sa mala, mga may utang, mga aksidente, daing o laban sa ospital or sa NHS. Harassment? O baka naman may stalker ka na gusto mong ireklamo? Punta na sa DV Solicitors para matulungan ka pagdating sa mga litigations at iba pang mga legal concerns. DV Solicitors at 2nd floor, Howard House, St. John Street, Bedford, MK42 0DJ. Tumawag sa 01234-350-244 or 01234-225-188 o kaya naman mag-email sa d.quinto@dvsolicitors.com. Visit our website at www.dvsolicitors.com.
Mula sa kabisera ng Inglaterra, sa puso ng Britanya, London, UK. London, UK. Ito ang Channel Philippines Network, Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK. Sumasahing papawid 24 oras. 24 oras. Buong linggo. Sa www.pinoyradiouk.com. Ang mga pinakapaborito mga awitin, mga pinakaabangang programa, at mga sariwang balita at impormasyon mula at para sa mga kababayang Pilipino sa UK at sa buong mundo. Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK.
Ayun, welcome back sa Legal Advice Corner. At kung kaka-tune in nyo lang po, ako lang po today dahil si Mr. Laragan not feeling very well. But we don't want to miss ang ating reunion every Tuesday. So, myself and Direk Pao is still here. Direk Pao, thank you for sorting out today. At advance happy birthday. Kailangan kong ulitin din yan. Advance happy birthday kung tuning in kayo. O kahit hindi, advance happy birthday pa rin kay Direk Pao para hindi natin malimutan ang birthday niya sa September 22. I'm here at home just in case you're curious kung asan ako, napakadaming changes today. I'm just here at home today. Normally nasa opisina ako, but today I had to go home quite early because of an errand. So it's a slightly non-office background, just para maiba naman tayo. But here we are. We will do the greetings later, guys. Medyo tweak lang natin yung flow ng program natin today because it's just me hosting. Bigla ko na-miss Mr. Laraga. Mahirap pala wala kausap dito sa show. Hindi naman mahirap. Nakakatawa. I'm sure we'll get to talk to our viewers later. Pero it's really very good. Talagang na-underline lang. Very, very good to have that audience participation, to have the co-host participation. Mas lalong nagkakaroon ng energy, ng kulay, yung show. But nonetheless, I am so sure that we could get that chance later on when we read out your greetings at huhulaan ko pa rin ang unang nag-greet, but later on. Without further ado, sabi natin dagdag kaalaman. So we're going to discuss another topic. By series tayo na sa divorce settings tayo, talking about home, or home setting na a few weeks ago, we were discussing a lot of topics about divorce, about separation, yung different elements niya. And then we moved on to children proceedings last week, mga frequently asked questions, diba? We would often see that sa mga website, but we try to make it as user-friendly as possible para maintindihan, mas madali nating ma-digest o mabigay sa ating mga kaibigan yung mga overview so that they can have a generic understanding. Pero iba pa rin ang kaso, ang application per case depending on the facts of the case. So yun yung nilalagay namin na disclaimer beforehand. Please do get specific legal advice. But today we're just gonna talk about procedure kasi marami nagsasabi, paano yan? Paano ba mag-apply about sa contact, about yung pag may hindi kami mapagkasunduan, how can we ask the court to deal with that? Ano ba yung step-by-step procedure? So nagbabalik na naman ang ating magic whiteboard. So we really liked, naka yun. It's quite good. Pasensya na po kayo sa penmanship ko. And pasensya na rin po kayo kung masyado siyang maliit. I'm gonna try my best to make it as clear as possible. Although, yung mga nakalagay lang po dyan ay mostly abbreviation. So, let's start off. Before pumunta sa korte, that's the start. May mga color coding yan, and you'll see later. Tingnan natin kung makatch nyo yung pattern. Before you go to the court, you really have to consider mediation, which is MED, or pre-action correspondence. So, wag agad-agad pupunta sa korte kung hindi urgent. There are situations like if it involves domestic violence or may risk, may harm, you don't need to go through mediation dun sa mga sitwasyon na yun. But if the danger is not imminent at hindi ganun ka-urgent, you do have to consider whether pwedeng sulatan muna or pwedeng mag-attend kayo ng family mediation or general mediation. Or baka may kaibigan kayo, ninong or ninang sa kasal na you both respect very much. At pwede sila ang maging third party na kakausap sa inyong dalawa so that you can have a compromise o out-of-court settlement. So, kailangan pa rin yan. Part yan ng procedure, nandun siya sa una. Nakita nyo green para hindi masyado combative, diba? Para hindi masyado ganun ka. That means medyo friendly yung process na yan, yung nandiyan sa box na yan. If you can't agree, or if it's not appropriate to do mediation, as I've said, for reason na endanger yung mga bata, at kailangan yung pumunta agad sa korte, o endanger kayo, you've suffered domestic violence, or there's an urgent issue such as normally child abduction, dadalhin sa ibang bansa yung bata, or dadalhin elsewhere, may mga ganun na urgent issue, then you can go straight to the court and you do file that C100 and C1A yan, hindi yan CIA, sorry. So C100 and C1A, those are the forms. C100 is just a generic form. If you are curious, you can look it up. C1A is if there are issues and concerns, welfare concern, then you have to fill up that form as well. So if we are acting for you, if we are representing you, we would fill up that form. Now the caveat in this is a template lang to. Ito ay probably a simplified version to give you an overview of the procedure, but I will explain later bakit sometimes may mga nadodoble yung mga red na yan, nadodoble yung ibang procedure. So let's go. So after the C100s, pinasa mo na sa court, we lodged with the court. CAFCAS should do SG, that means actually it's just one word, safeguarding checks. So that safeguarding check, titingnan ng CAFCAS, in their own way, they have a checklist. They will do the preliminary checks kung kamusta yung, kung ano, nasa database ka ba kayo ng social services, may mga issue na ba noon na alerto ang social services. Police, they might be doing some police checks, what's happening. So they'll do their initial safeguarding checks. Before that red thing, that is what we call a first hearing and dispute resolution appointment. Yan ang long name niya. But we call it FHDRH, DRA as lawyers, or first hearing or directions appointment. Those are the abbreviation. Nakita nyo red siya. So pag hearing, red yan. Most clients would ask, because you might have a few weeks, hindi naman yan initial, the next day bibigyan ka ng hearing. It depends on the availability of the court, but they do have a certain time scales, may time period yan. I think it's about 28 days, but still depends. It depends on the busyness and the load ng korte at kung may hearing availability sila. But they do try, especially with children cases, na hindi masyado madelay. First hearing, hindi po yan ang final hearing, as the word suggests. First hearing pa lang po siya. The court will likely not make any big decisions on that day. Most of my clients would say, oh, yan na, hearing na. Diyan na ba, will we get final result on that day? No. First hearing and dispute resolution appointment. So yun yung magic word, yung second half ng term na yun. If hindi ganun ka, if CAFCAS says walang safeguarding issue dyan, we do recommend them to try and talk and settle. So sometimes lawyers would try to discuss a potential solution on the day of the hearing. Kung walang major issue about domestic violence, walang major issue about risk of the children, CAFCAS says all is okay. We might use that as a dispute resolution. We might talk, we might say, what's your issue? How can we address it? And if we can't settle, and the judge says, walang ganun kalaking issue, you might get a direction for a mediation first. And actually, hindi yan. And only then will you go, hopefully, you can settle. But if you can't, babalik kayo doon. Babalik kayo isa doon sa mga directions hearing. So, yan ang simplified version. I had cases like that. Wala namang issue. Medyo galit lang sila sa isa't isa nung una. And the issues that they had beforehand, by the time na humarap na kami sa korte, all has been stabilized. So the court says, actually, you could use mediation. And they did. They settled during the mediation. So, hindi na nga namin kailangan yung lahat. We just sent the court a copy of our settlement. So that's a simplified procedure. Now, most cases, they do go to court dahil may mga malalaking issue, malaking problema, domestic violence, risk to the children, child abduction, lots of allegations. Both parties may tapo ng aligasyon, tapo ng mudslinging, sometimes we call it. And Kafkas would look at their safeguarding at sasabihin nila, yeah, may issue yan. You know, the social services have been alerted. We see some notes or may mga police na report on that one. So the judge will say, well, the judge might make a directions order dun sa first hearing. So first hearing is really looking at ano ba yung issue sa case na to? Komplikado ba o hindi ba? It's not about complication, it's more of may risk but dito sa mga bata na kailangan nating i-manage, kailangan nating imbestigahan. That's really the point of the court. So if we need further investigation, dahil solido yung mga allegations, then the court will order first. So parang mag-aano muna kami, magkukuha ng mga impormasyon at ebidensya. So that might mean parties setting out their allegations in a format that we call Scott schedule or Scott schedule or sa amin schedule, Scott schedule. So lalagay mo lilista yung allegations doon. Witness statements ng bawat partido. So they would say they can set out their position at ma-explain nila ng mabuti ang allegation nila. Police disclosure, para malaman kung ano yung mga nangyari. May tawag ba sa police 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. So when you call, that's the reason why we say, if there's a domestic violence incident, please do call the police. Dahil lalabas at lalabas din yan, and you can refer to that evidence later on in a situation like this, in a proceeding like this. At kung sasabihin ng korte na, look, before Kafkas, so Kafkas is the independent body. So hindi ko pala na-explain niya, pasensya na po. Kafkas is an independent body. They're like social workers. They're not lawyers. They're the experts on understanding kung ano yung kailangan ng mga bata. So before sometimes they can make a recommendation, kailangan malaman muna ano ba talaga nangyari. And that's the reason why sometimes meron kaming fact-finding. And red na naman siya dahil hearing po yan. Fact-finding hearing. That's actually quite a big hearing. Parang full-on trial. Andyan lahat ng witnesses. Iko-cross-examine. Titingnan ng korte whether likely or not. So, ang burden of proof dyan is civil burden of proof, which is 51% sa percentage. Is it likely or not na nangyari yung allegation na yun, yung event na sinasabi nila na sinaktan daw yung bata, pinalo daw yung bata, pinalo yung asawa. So we would actually have almost a trial of facts, fact-finding, lalagay yung mga, itetest ang mga witnesses with their evidence. And that could be 1 day, that could be 2 days. Meron naman din kami sa isang ibang kaso, 4 days. In really massive cases, 7 to 10 days. I've heard of that in local authority. Yung tatanggalin talaga nila yung bata, kukunin yung bata ng local authority. It could go on for a while because of all of the witnesses that will have to be reviewed. So titingnan ng korte, ito yung situation na maraming allegations. So hahanapin muna kung ano talaga yung nangyari. And the court will make a determination. Yung korte ang magbibigay ng yes or no, yes nangyari yan, or no nangyari na yan. Or sometimes the court will say, well, I will not make a finding. Kumbaga parang draw, walang finding yung korte. Once they have that, then they can direct a Section 7, yun yung mabasas. That's meant to be Section 7 welfare report by Kafkas. So Kafkas, sasabihin ng korte, Kafkas, ito yung findings ko. Ito yung sa tingin ko nangyari at hindi nangyari. Ayun, Section 7. Kita naman yung 7, di ba? Ayun, Section 7 po yan. Section 7 report. Nahiya naman ako sa aking handwriting. Ayusin natin. Section 7 report. So that would go through the consideration, all the consideration. Well, isa lang naman yung kailangan nilang main na para mang consideration nila, which is the welfare of the children, the best interest of the children. So they're going to look at the judgment of the fact finding. They're going to talk to the parents, both parents. They're going to talk to the children, and they're going to make a recommendation. So sometimes, for example, the recommendation is, okay, medyo mataas yung temper mo, napalo mo nga yung mga bata, pero napalo mo dahil siguro dinisiplina, but hindi mo lang ganun ka na-realize na andun na pala, but you have an insight, nakita na may remorse, nakita na nagbabago na yung magulang. So they would say, okay, we can recommend that you will have supervised contact. So supervise muna sa isang contact center. As long as you'd also do, for example, and I have seen anger management course. So may mga recommendation na gano'n. Hindi lang contact, kundi mga ways to deal with issues. So issues may be temper, issues may be unable to parent or set boundaries. So CAPCAS would actually assist and try to rehabilitate, if at all possible, the relationship. And they will set out a stepwise process, dahan-dahan, na reintroduce yung parent sa children if walang risk or if mamamanage yung risk sa mga bata, bearing in mind the best interests of the children. So that's one example. And we will talk about that next week. Domestic violence and its impact on this at paano, ano yung nagiging factors na kino-consider para mabigyan ka pa rin ng contact. And anong sitwasyon kung kailan bawal na talaga. Hindi na talaga. And that happens. That really does happen. So, sasabihin gano'n na, okay, ito yung recommendation ng CAPCAS. So sometimes they would say, pag-usapan nyo, are you agreeing to that? What's your position? Most of the time, you will have a little hearing, a little directions hearing after lumabas yung report. It just gives you an opportunity, maybe okay naman lahat, maybe agree naman lahat sa Section 7 report, and they can just end there and they can say, well, fine, that's fine. Or, hindi agree lahat, or may isang element na hindi agree yung isang partido, then we might have to go to a final hearing. Sometimes also, it could happen na sasabihin, we tried this in the interim, inintroduce namin yung contact, but we're not quite ready yet to give a final recommendation. Nangyayari naman yun sa CAPCAS. Sasabihin ng CAPCAS, can you give us time? Kailangan pa namin to. So the court will probably give further directions bago magbigay ng final judgment. So you can see that a lot of that when may mga issue is the court, although it looks complicated, ang principle lang is very important to remember that what we're trying to do is to find out what would be the best decision, the best child arrangement for the children. Are the children safe? Will they be safe? Will they be in a managed environment? Yung risk ba na nagsimula kung bakit nagsimula itong gulo na to, na-manage na ba? So that's really the reason for this. So bago magbigay ng rekomendasyon ng judgment, kailangan imbestigahan, kailangan hanapin siya. Kailangan tanungin ng mga witnesses, kailangan hanapin kung ano talaga ang nangyari. So fact-finding, as the name suggests, we're gonna try to find out as much as we can with the evidence that's available in front of us, what happened and what happened to this family, and on the basis of that, para mabigyan ng CAPCAS, mabigyan ng working ng starting ground yung CAPCAS so that they can give recommendation kung ano ba ang nararapat. And if it's reintroducing contact, sometimes option din na titingnan muna for a few months before we go to a final order. Maraming variation yung life cycle ng kaso. It depends on the case, it depends on the issues, it depends on the sometimes on the availability of judges, because we had cases na sasabihin nila, oh, it's quite complicated, magiging 3 or 4 days yung fact finding. So kung hindi makakahanap ng senior enough judge to do that, or wala, dahil malaking chunk yung fact finding na yun, it may not all the time, it may mean na mas matagal malilist yung kaso mo. Although that isn't really the case, because meron kaming tinatawag na no delay principle. Kailangan hindi natin ma-delay yung mga pag-imbestiga ng mga bagay-bagay na to, dahil hindi yan nakakabuti para sa mga bata. And it's a very, very robust system. Madaming agencies ang involved. Police often are asked to give disclosures, local authorities, social services, CAFCAS, sometimes medical experts are involved as well, psychiatric assessment. We can ask that too. Kailangan may insert yun sa directions. Kung kinakailangan, again, that's part of the investigation. So, depende sa sitwasyon. Depende sa kung ano yung issue na pinakasentro dun sa kaso nyo. And that's the reason why this is just an overview. Hindi po ito ang prescribed na procedure. Hindi na ito, baka sabihin nyo sa akin, di ba sabi mo yun lang, ilang hearings lang. No, it isn't. It's just a sample, kumbaga. Sometimes it could be shorter. Minsan, dito pa lang, bago pa lang dito, nagsettle na sila agad. Minsan, although, when there is a massive issue, when there are safeguarding issues, hindi ka pwede na, kung magsisettle kayo, you're gonna have to get CAFCA's approval. Technically, kung nandito kayo sa medyo sabi ng CAFCAS, may concern sila, kailangan natin kunin ang kanilang consent. But as I've said, starting point lang to. If you are dealing with something similar, or if you know of someone who's dealing with similar, this is just to give you that overview. But please do get specific advice for your own case from a lawyer, from a professional, whether it be us or local solicitors. Please do get your own independent legal advice. And we will show later kung saan nyo kami mako-contact. But first of all, papatapos na tayo. But before we go, we would like to show the greetings. Kasi hindi natin, medyo iba yung flow na. Iba nga yung venue natin, iba yung flow natin. At wala na miss natin ngayon si Mr. Laragan. So, I'd like to be able to at least say hello dun sa ating mga regular. At mahulaan ko na naman sana kung sino ang number 1, ang valedictorian sa ating mga greetings. Direk, ano nga ba yung tawag nun sa banner ba yun? Direk, paki-play naman sa ating magbe-birthday na Direk. Paki-play naman po yung ayun. Natawa ako dun, Direk, ha? May prompt, nakakatawa. Oh yes, okay, so to have a bit of normalcy, we will still do our first greeter tonight. So I'm thinking, naisip ko lang kasi andun sa may Cornwall yung kaibigan ko. So naisip ko medyo Devon ata si Marian Galicia Paner. Feeling ko lang, it's number 1 here. Oliver Fernandez. To be fair, Oliver, ang galing. Every Tuesday. Talagang walang consistency is the key kay Oliver Fernandez. So thank you, Oliver. He's saying good morning from Everett, Washington. Another happy Lots of Learning Tuesday awaits us today as Attorney Donna, Kuya Sonny, in spirit, dahil siya ay nagpapahinga ngayon sa not feeling well siya. And the Power brings us this evening's program. Thank you very much, Oliver. Maraming salamat. Very consistent. So thank you. Second salutatorian, paninindigan ko direct. Marian Galicia Paner. Valedictorian pa natin. Salutatorian pa natin si Marian Galicia Paner. Mali. Edgardo Cagahaschan is actually reporting from our London Tube. Happy Tuesday to Mr. Laragan, Attorney Dana, Direct Pao, and to the viewers. Northern Line going south to Morden is too crowded if you can avoid. Looking forward to lots of learning again today. Thanks. Edgardo was the one who first, I think, one of our viewers na unang nag-live nung bumisita siya. I think straight after, the day after the Queen died. I do remember Edgardo showing us around. Talagang parang roving reporter natin yan eh. Andun siya, nag-uulat mula sa Buckingham Palace at ngayon, nag-uulat siya mula sa Northern Line. It is too crowded. I bet that was probably not too long ago. That message wasn't too long ago. So maraming salamat, Edgardo. Gusto ko to. Gusto ko yung mga mga tube traffic updates natin. Very, very, very good. Nako, kailangan panindigan si Marian Galicia pa na. kahit bronze medal, Marian Galicia pa na. Direct, tama ba? At least third place. Hindi talaga ako wala. It's okay. And that is Edgar Duay. Edgar Duay's birthday was the other day. I think it is Edgar Duay ba to? Hello sa inyong lahat, lalo na sa ating culinary expert, Attorney Dana Q, mga barkada ko. Peace. Hi, Direct medalist PPRP, and to the legend himself, Mr. SONNY LARAGAN. O, tinamang means Mr. Laragan, namimiss ka namin lahat. Tandaan, mag-aral, magluto para makatikim ng tuyo. That is Edgar Duay. Direct ba? Siya ba yan? We're pretty sure it is him. Anyway, it was Mr. Edgar Duay's birthday the other day. So, belated happy birthday sa ating Henyo. Sabi ko nga sa kanya, yung greeting ko sa kanya the other day. Henyo, very kind person, pillar of community, a fantastic husband, I'm sure, sabi ni, nafe-feel ko na sinasabi ni Irene, and a very, very good father. And you can see that too from his post, devoted sa family niya. Nakaka-inspire to know him. It's such a pleasure to know you, Mr. Edgar Duay. Belated happy birthday. Mga favorite natin ngayong September. Ayan na siya. Fourth honor. Marian Galicia pa na. Hello po kuya sa ating Attorney Dana at sa lahat. Happy Tuesday po. And stay safe always. God bless po. God bless you too, Marian Galicia pa na. Nagpalit si Marian Galicia pa na ng profile picture. Baka kaya ka na late, Marian, ha? Kaya ka. Okay lang daw. Si Tita Emeline Rafael says, good evening, London. Parang BBC tayo. Good evening, London. This is Philippines. Ayan. To Sir Sonny and Attorney Donna and everyone, and to Derek Pao, good morning, Philippines. I love that, Tita Emeline. Para kang BBC Philippines. Good evening, London. This is Philippines. O, diba? Well done, Tita Emeline. Sanchez Grace is saying good afternoon, everyone watching from Lisbon, Portugal. Wow! Ayun pa rin ang ating mga regulars. Get well soon, Sonny Laragan mo. Yes, get well soon, Mr. Laragan. And advance happy birthday kay Direct Medalist. Yes, flood niyo po yung kanyang wall sa September 22. Check ko, double check ko baka ma-announce ko yung maling birthday. September 22 ang birthday ng ating Direct. Happy birthday. Direct, pwede ko bang i-request yung happy birthday para sa'yo? Ayaw ni Direk. Ayaw ni Direk ilagay yung sound effect ng happy birthday. Gigi Alambara says, hello, Attorney Dana. Hello then, Gigi. Hello. To the talented Direk Pao. Yan na, talented Direk Pao. Edgardo Calgas. Si Edgardo nag-vlog yan nakita ko. Desiree Pangan says, good morning here in Philippines. First time watching the program. Desiree, normally may co-host ako. Kaso today, tayo muna. But you will see Mr. Laragan next week. Hopefully next week again. But, yeah. Oh, Edgar Duay, tanong, ano magiging status ng anak ko sa former wife? pag kinasal sa iba na may ibang anak, legitimate pa rin ba sila? Yes, definitely. Kahit may anak na sa second partner or wife, yep. Pag ni-adopt yung anak ng new partner, magiging illegitimate? No, it doesn't. Parental responsibility is actually not dependent on marriage. May mga unmarried partners na parental responsibility pa rin yung anak. It may have a slightly, may technical na issue kung ang wife or kung sino yung, ang wife mo, for example, Edgar, or ex-wife, remarried, at siya ang main carer ng bata at may live-with order. So, yun na yung tawag dun sa primary, or yun na yung tawag sa custody ngayon. Kasi primary care or live-with order. Damay niya yung kanyang husband, new husband, dahil isang household lang sila. Pero hindi legitimate yung anak mo, may parental responsibility ka pa rin sa anak mo. Parental responsibility is a legal term. Meaning, ikaw ang tatay, ikaw ang may responsibility. It gives you the right to have a say sa main decision, religion, education. Hindi nila pwedeng agad-agad na tanggalin sa jurisdiction yung bata. I think we had some case studies on this last week. But the straightforward answer is legitimate pa rin. Julia La Peña Mendoza, I'm looking for legal. Would you be able to help me? I think nakausap ko na to. So I think we have I think I'm allowed to say na nag-contact na kami and meron na atang initial na discussion or a scheduling for initial discussion. Maganda at masayang Tuesday, total package, Attorney Dana. Get well soon, slim and good-looking Sir Sonny. Sir Super Edgar, in advance, happy birthday, Miss Lovely Paula, and all happy viewers. Team Lebroho, from Team Lebroho. Hello, and kamusta po kayo dyan? Nakakatawa. Rudy is always positive. Nakakatawa. Kay June Mendoza, I sent you an email earlier, so paki-check at may Zoom link na sinend sa'yo for tomorrow. So that, hopefully, is nakakatulong, dagdag kaalaman sa inyong lahat. It's a very straightforward session today dahil si Mr. Laragan ay just resting. And Direk Paula has assisted me and is actually celebrating her birthday in 2 days' time. Yan, parati kong pinapa-remember sa lahat mga every 10 minutes because we really appreciate Direk. Ito makikita nyo kahit kung may mga technical difficulties kami, talagang nasosolve ni Direk. At kung may mga ganitong kailangan isa lang magbo-broadcast, it's only possible dahil si Direk ay andyan. So with all, from the bottom of my heart, Direk, we truly, truly appreciate you. We love you. We're very proud of you. And advance happy birthday. If you would like to contact us for a preliminary consultation, you can ring us at 01234225-188 or email us at danna.quinto@dvsolicitors.com. As I've said, sana po nakatulong at sana po balik po kayo next week with not just myself, may co-host ako normally at next week, sana full house ulit tayo. But until then, keep safe and be healthy. Yun siguro ang ating reminder. Till then, good night everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.